in the morning.
Hello everyone, welcome back. The Y&R storyline delivers drama leading up to Diane's escape, but I have to share this with you because the dramatic events in Genoa are exploding and my head is spinning. Jack is reeling from Diane's disappearance, so let's dive straight into this mess. So Diane Jenkins Abbott is awake, and it is a total nightmare. She wakes up in this strange, unfamiliar house, and she is super groggy. Like, you know that feeling when you wake up from a deep sleep and you don't know where you are for a second, imagine that. But you are Diane and you are trapped. She is calling out, asking if anyone is there, and her voice is just echoing in this weird place. She stumbles over to the door and of course, it's locked. She can't open it. She is locked in. And honestly, how many times are people going to get locked in cabins or weird houses on this show? It feels like it happens every other month, but this time it feels different. It feels darker. Diane is just standing there, trying to process the situation, and you can see the sheer panic setting in. And then in walks the creep of the year, Dr. Lawrence Markham. This guy. I just can't with this guy. He walks in looking all calm and professional, but he is a total psychopath. He tells Diane this completely fabricated, wild story. He claims that he is a psychiatrist and that he found her having a severe mental breakdown in her car. Like, what? Diane is looking at him like he has 3 heads. She insists she doesn't remember any of that, which makes sense because it never happened. She demands to know why he didn't just call the police if he found her like that. And this is where Markham really turns the knife. This is where the psychological torture starts. He looks her right in the eye and says he did call the police, and that the police called Jack. And that Jack was supposedly blaming himself for everything Diane had been through, and that Jack agreed that Dr. Markham should be the one to help her get better. I was screaming at my screen. What were they thinking? Who actually believes this is going to end well? Markham is trying to gaslight Diane into believing her own husband abandoned her and signed off on her being locked up in this weird makeshift asylum. He is trying to break her mind. Diane is fighting back. She is pushing against his lies, but the guy is just so chillingly calm. And here is a weird little detail. Diane is looking around the room and she notices some books on a shelf. Books written by Alan Laurent. What does that mean? Is Markham a fan of Alan? Is it a clue the writers dropped for us? I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but it feels like a very specific thing to include. Anyway, Markham just casually invites her to read whatever she likes and basically hints that she is going to be locked up there for a very, very long time, depending on his assessment. It makes my skin crawl. Meanwhile, back at the Abbott mansion, things are falling apart. Jack and Kyle are completely frantic. They are talking to Detective James Burrow about Diane being missing. And let's be real, the Genoa City Police Department is not exactly known for solving crimes quickly. They are practically useless half the time. Jack is pacing around, looking like he hasn't slept in days. He uses this meeting with the detective to just lay it all out there. He flat out says that Patty Williams has to be the one responsible for this. Jack knows Patty. He knows her twisted, obsessed mind. He knows what she is capable of. And you guys, Kyle is just breaking my heart in these scenes. Think about it. Kyle lost his mother for over a decade when Diane faked her own death back in 2011. He grew up mourning a mother who was actually alive. Now he finally has her back. They are finally a family again, and she vanishes. The trauma for Kyle must be off the charts. He is desperate. But he and Jack are trying to keep the cops focused on Patty, because Jack just feels it in his gut. Thank God for Tracy Abbott. Seriously, Tracy is the MVP of the Abbott family right now. She is the only one who actually gets results. So Tracy is out at Chancellor Park, probably just trying to get some fresh air away from the mansion drama, and she spots something. She sees Patty meeting with a strange man. And it's not just a casual chat. Patty hands this guy a thick envelope full of cash, a literal bribe right there in the park in broad daylight. The man is Dr. Markham, though Tracy doesn't know his name yet. He takes the dirty money and promises Patty that he will deliver the evidence she requested within an hour. Tracy is watching all this from behind a pillar or a tree or whatever, and she immediately knows this is bad. She pulls out her phone and calls Jack, telling him to get his butt down to the park right now because Patty is up to no good. Then Tracy, brave, wonderful Tracy, steps out and confronts Patty. During this confrontation, Tracy figures out the guy is Dr. Lawrence Markham. Patty tries to play it off, claiming he was just her doctor at her previous facility. Like, oh sure Patty, you just hand envelopes of untraceable cash to your former doctors in the park. Totally normal behavior. Then Jack shows up. And he is a hurricane of anger. I love angry Jack. When Peter Bergman gets to yell, it is always good TV. Jack marches right up to Patty and straight up accuses her of being behind Diane's disappearance. He is demanding answers. He is threatening her. But Patty just stands there with that smug, delusional look on her face. She plays completely innocent. She acts like Diane just ran away because her marriage was falling apart. She just deflects and denies, and it makes you want to reach through the screen and shake her. So Jack and Tracy head back to the Abbott mansion. They do what anyone would do in 2026. They Google the guy. They look up Dr. Lawrence Markham online. And the scary part is, his credentials look totally valid. On paper, he is a real, legitimate psychiatrist. He has a clinic in the suburbs. It all looks legal. But Jack and Tracy aren't stupid. They know a piece of paper doesn't mean the guy isn't corrupt. They know in their bones that something terrible is happening, and they are just waiting for the other shoe to drop. They are trying to figure out what Patty's endgame is. And then the shoe drops. Oh boy, does it drop. Patty shows up at the Abbott mansion. She walks right in, bold as brass. She has her phone out and she shows Jack a picture. It's the evidence Dr. Markham promised her. It is a photo of Diane. And Diane looks terrible. She is unconscious, totally drugged out, lying in what looks like a white padded room, a soundproof room. Jack looks at this photo and you can just see his heart shatter into a million pieces. His wife is in a cage, and Patty is standing there, holding the key. Patty spins this elaborate, sick fairy tale. She tells Jack that she just happened to find Diane having a massive mental breakdown. She says Diane's psyche was completely shattered, and thank goodness Patty was there to save her. Patty claims she contacted Dr. Markham, who recommended this special caretaker and this secret clinic where Diane can get the help she needs. Jack is losing his mind. He is screaming. He wants to see Diane right now. He demands to know where she is. But Patty just shakes her head. She tells Jack that Diane is going to take years to recover. Years? And then she drops the real hammer. Patty says that even if Diane does recover, she will never be the same woman Jack married. She will be broken. Patty tells Jack that he needs to just let Diane go. She literally says that Diane is gone and Jack needs to move on. And then she makes her move. Patty tells Jack that she is here for him, that she can be the replacement wife. She is basically saying, hey, your wife is locked in a padded room, so why don't you date me instead? It is extortion. Pure, twisted, sickening extortion. Patty implies very heavily that Jack wouldn't want anything bad to happen to Diane, right? She makes it crystal clear that Diane's safety, Diane's very life, depends entirely on Jack playing ball. He has to enter into a romantic relationship with Patty, the woman who kidnapped him, drugged him, and assaulted him on a yacht not that long ago. He has to pretend to love his abuser in order to keep his wife alive. I can't even. The writers are really pushing the boundaries with this one. It is so dark. It is so messed up. But I can't look away. Jack is completely backed into a corner. He is looking at this woman who has terrorized his family for years. Patty kissed his granddaughter Summer when she had a peanut allergy, almost killing her. Patty has done so many evil things, and now she holds Diane's life in her hands. Jack recoils at the thought of being with Patty. He is disgusted. He is horrified. But what choice does he have? If he calls the cops, Patty might have Markham kill Diane. If he fights back too hard, Diane suffers. He is trapped. And maybe I'm being too harsh on the show's pacing sometimes, but this episode was just relentless. The pacing was fast. The stakes were sky high. You really feel the desperation radiating off of Jack, and you feel the suffocating terror of Diane locked in that room with a doctor who has completely sold his soul to Patty Williams. I keep thinking about how Victor fits into all this. We know Victor bankrolled Patty's life when she came back to town. He set her up at the GCC. He wanted to use her to mess with Jack. Did Victor know she was going to go this far? Did Victor actually help her hire Dr. Markham? Or has Patty just completely gone rogue and taken Victor's money to fund her own crazy kidnapping plot? Fans on social media are debating this nonstop. Some people think Victor is pulling the strings to get back at Jack, but others think Patty is just a loose cannon that Victor can't control anymore. Honestly, I think it's the latter. Patty is obsessed with Jack. This isn't about business or corporate revenge for her. This is about her sick, twisted version of love. So where do we go from here? Jack is going to have to fake it. He is going to have to pretend to give Patty what she wants. He's going to have to romance her, maybe even take her out on dates, all while he and Tracy and Call secretly try to track down Markham's hidden clinic. It is going to be agonizing to watch Jack have to smile and hold Patty's hand while he knows his wife is being drugged and gaslight in a cage. And poor Diane, she is tough. We know Diane is a survivor. She faked her own death and lived under the radar for a decade. She knows how to hustle, but being drugged constantly, being told your husband abandoned you, that breaks a person down. Markham is going to keep feeding her these lies, keeping her weak, keeping her confused. I just hope Diane can hold on to her sanity long enough for Jack to find her. Okay, that sounded dramatic, but you get what I mean. This storyline is heavy. It's clunky in a few spots like, why didn't the detective just immediately pull Markham in for questioning the second Tracy saw the cash handoff? But whatever, it's a soap. We have to suspend our disbelief a little bit. I am exhausted just recapping this. The Abbott family cannot catch a break. First the tornado in Maryland, now this hostage situation. Jack needs a vacation. Khan needs therapy. And Patty Williams needs to be locked away in a maximum security prison where she can never, ever get out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think Jack will actually go through with Patty's sick demands? How long until Tracy hacks into Markham's phone records and saves the day? Because let's be honest, Tracy is the real hero here. I'll be back tomorrow with more updates, assuming my brain doesn't melt from all this drama. Stay tuned, guys. It's only going to get crazier from here.